just picked up a guy, a nurse actually. He works in the med center, and Houston has the largest med center in the world actually, and he works at St. Luke, one of the hospitals down there. He told me he was off today. They actually asked him if he wanted to take today off. He said yeah. And so he's off. So I said, hey, how come you're off? You're a nurse. I mean, how come you're off with all this going on? He said, man, look, at the hospital, they have one floor dedicated to coronavirus patients. Now, I'm talking to you, and we're talking about the largest med center in the world here in Houston. So yeah, he said he works in the transplant, on the floor where they have transplant patients and all that kind of stuff. Said yes, they have that floor dedicated to coronavirus patients. You know, they've got their hazmat suits on and all that stuff, and nobody else is allowed to be on that floor. And so, you know, as I talk to him, I'm saying, but if this thing was so critical, then they would convert other floors to receive the, you know, after all, Houston has, I think they said 1,000 confirmed. I don't know how many died, supposedly. Listen, the point is, here's a hospital, one of the leading hospitals in the world, and they are not in critical mode. Is it that they know something we don't know? I mean, all this stuff just add to, you know, all the conspiracy theory, excuse me, all the conspiracy theory stuff, man. Like, what is really going on? You know, on one of my chat board, guy from China, well, he claimed he's from that area, you know, supposedly the epicenter of it all, saying that what China used to bring it under control was testing. Said that everywhere you go, you got tested, your temperature was taken at work, when you, in order to go in the store, you know, and if people had elevated temperatures, they were sent home. You got to be quarantined or this, that, or whatever. But he's saying, which makes sense, because they don't have a vaccine. Said it was testing. Constant testing. Now, why has the U.S. not taken that route? Because there's ulterior motive. Something else is going on. You know, we know we have a presidential a president and his merry men who tend to be tyrannical. You know, this is a good opportunity for them to, you know, show their high iron fist. You know, it's something to consider. Here's a nurse, and you know, they're leading us to believe that this thing is such a pandemic. It's such an emergency that they're shutting down the whole country, and nurses are not even working. It's kind of strange. You know, I mean, it's kind of weird to me. What do you think? There has to be some other motive, man. Because, like I said, you know, I'm looking around in my circle and I don't know anybody, you know, who's sick. I don't know anybody in my circle. I mean, from close relatives and family, my kids, my grandkids, and, you know, and their friends and their... I mean, do you know anybody? I mean, There's something else afoot. And of course, as always, it's going to be about control. You know, it's always about control. Let's see if we can lead these people. And I know some of you, some of you, or like most people, are sheeps. You know, sheeps. You just follow along to get along. You know, so I know some of you gonna push back at what's being said here, but that's okay. You know. But yeah, there's some other motive, ulterior motive. And as always, it means protecting the 1%ers. And the way to do that is if you can control the masses. You know, because listen, the human family, there's only one pie. And by might, by the golden rule, a certain small percentage take a bigger bite out of the pie. And then within countries and within societies, the principle still applies. Those with power and money still take a bigger portion of the pie. It's always that way, you know. So that's what they're trying to maintain even now. They're trying to maintain, getting a bigger piece of the pie. And in order to do that, you got to control the masses. Poor folks, working poor, lower middle income people. Because there's certain people that are still making their money. They're working from home. They're working remote. Certain high or upper middle class white collar worker. They're still making their papers. It's the poor, people at the bottom. The easily replaceable food for thoughts. But God is still in control. And those of us who trust God, don't make us never mind. Don't make any difference for us. Bless up.